Hello. Okay. So some of you have already started the recording. So let me share the slides. Also, I will what I will do is I will switch on my video because I have to conserve the bandwidth because there are a lot of bandwidth problem. So let me share the slide first and then I will switch off my video. Okay. So as I discussed in my last classes, for designing of the state feedback controller for a particular process, which based on the state space model of the process. So if we recapitulate the design, then we'll understand that the state space model is basically consists of two equations. One is the system state equation, another is the output map equation. System state equation is x dot plus ax plus bu, and the output map equation is y is equal to cx plus du, where y is the output, x is the state, u is the input. Since it's a state feedback controller, so to design that, we need only the we need only the system state equations. We need only the system state equations. And the state feedback control law is pretty simple, which is nothing but U is equal to minus Kx, where K is the state feedback controller gain. So if we put the state feedback controller equations in the system state equation, then we will have the closed loop system as x dot t is equal to A minus bk into xt. So the controller design, state feedback controller design, basically nothing but finding out the values of K. The values of K's can be found out using a pole placement technique, which basically means that for the closed loop system, the eigenvalues of the closed loop system or the poles of the closed loop system is nothing but the eigenvalues of this system A minus Bk. Okay, so from the characteristics equations, I will get the closed loop characteristics equation as Si minus A plus Bk, and if we compare this characteristics equation with the desired characteristics equations, where I say my desired poles are at mu1 to mu(n) locations in the complex plane, then I can equate the closed loop system characteristics equation with the desired characteristics equations. So that equation is given here, Si minus A plus Bk, determinant of that matrix equals to S minus mu1 into S minus mu2 into S minus mu3 into S minus mu(n). So this I can find out the K directly by equating these equations. If the order of the system is 2 or at most 3. But if the order of the system is greater than 3, then we have to utilize two methods. One is the Weisgura method or the Ackermann's formula. So either of these two methods we can use and we can find out the values of K. So this is basically which we have already know. I have already described what is Weisgura method and what is Ackermann's method. So I am not going into details on that. Now here, when we are designing the controller, state feedback controller, you can see the equation over here. This basically is U is equal to minus Kx, where X is the states of the equation, state variables of the process. Now the problem over here is in this equation that the state variables of the process are not measured. Normally, if you recollect the state space model, then we have a state equation x dot is equal to ax plus bu, and we have the output map, which is y is equal to cx, where y is the output measurement. So the y is the output from the system, which is through measurement. So y is equal to cx. So where which basically means all the states may not be measured to give you the output y. Okay. So if that is so, then how do we construct this controller equation? Which means the information of all the states are not available to us, then it's very difficult, impossible in fact, to construct the state feedback controller law. Okay. So in that case, we have to have a mechanism to estimate the state variables from the output or from the measurement. So this estimation procedure is called the state observer design. This is basically called the state observer design. So today I will discuss the state observer design. Okay. So in state observer design, the major design philosophies are that in the pole, which I have discussed already, I am reading it again. In the pole placement approach to the design of control system, we assume that all state variables are available for feedback. So initially, when I design the state feedback controller, we assume that all states are available for feedback. That means all states are measured. But in practice, all state variables are not available for feedback because non-availability of sensors, because like if you consider a distillation column, so the states are basically if you consider the states are basically the composition and temperature in all trays of the distillation column, which is practically infeasible to measure because of the economic reasons. We can measure it. That's not that we do not have the hardware to measure it, but for economic reason, it's not possible or practically not feasible to measure all the state variables. Because of these expensive sensors, and in some cases, available sensor may not be acceptable due to high noise, high power consumption, etc. So in that case, we have to design a state observer which will estimate the state variable based on whatever available measurements of the output over a period of time. So this is basically the design philosophy for the state observer. And when we will be designing the state observer, then the observability condition has to be obeyed. Observability condition is, I have defined earlier, which is based on the observability matrix. Now these observers are two types. The state observers are of two types. One is the full order state observer, and the second one is the reduced order state observer. The full order state observer means it observes all the state variables regardless of whether the some state variables are measured or not. Which means, say, if I have a number of state variables is 5 for a system, out of which, let's say, 2 state variables I am measuring, so other 3 state variables are not available for measurement. The full order state observer basically observes all the 5 state variables, irrespective of the 2 state variables are already measured. Whereas in case of a reduced order observer, we will observe only the unmeasured states. So we will take the informations of the output and we'll only observe the unmeasured states. So this is also called the minimum order observer. So for this example, if I have three states which is not measured, so I will use the measurement of two states, that is the y, and using that y, I will try to estimate the other three states. So sometimes some of the state variables are measured and therefore need not be observed. So if the state observer estimates only the unmeasured states, then the observer is called the reduced order observer or the minimal order observer. Now let us see how we can, let us start with the full order observer. The design of observer, let us start with the full order observer. And then we'll go on the designing the reduced order observer. So today in this class, we'll try to complete the design of the full order observer. So full order observer, for a full order observer, let us consider the process x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx. Okay. So in this process, here we are considering one output. So obviously you require one input. So this will be a scalar quantity. So in that case, we assume that the observed state is x bar. So the observed state of x is x bar. Now observer model will be a similar to a state process model. Observer model will be a similar to a process model. And since we are observing the states, so the observer equation will be similar to the state equation, which is x dot plus ax plus b. So we take a state observer model as, which is similar to the state equation, is at x bar dot is equal to a bar x bar plus b bar u. And then in this equation, we give a feedback of the output measurement. Because this observer, if you do not give this feedback, then it will become an open loop observer. Then it will become an open loop observer. To make it a closed loop observer where a feedback of measurement is be used, there I have to introduce the measurement as feedback with a gain Ke. This Ke is basically called the observer gain. Now, once we decide on this observer model, which is similar in structure to the process state equations, then we define the error in observation. So the error in observation is nothing but E, which is x minus x bar. So x bar is the estimated state, x is the actual state. So in that case, we can write the error dynamics will be E dot equals to x dot minus x bar dot. So once we define the error dynamics, then we'll try to write down the error dynamics equation in terms of x dot and x bar dot. Because we know what is x dot and we know what is x bar dot. So we write the error dynamics. We write the error dynamics E dot equals to x dot minus x bar dot, which is ax plus bu, which is for the x dot component, and minus a bar x bar plus b bar u plus ke into y, which is component for the x bar dot. Now in this equation, I am simplifying this by adding and subtracting a bar x, and I substitute y is equal to cx. So if I do that, then I will have the E dot will be ax minus a bar x plus a bar x. So these modifications I will do. And finally, I will land up to the equations of a minus a bar minus kec into x plus a bar x minus x bar plus b minus b bar into u. So this is basically my error dynamics equations. for this system. Now, in this error dynamics equation, obviously our objective is to make error zero. That means asymptotically, the error should go towards zero. So E will be zero as t tending to infinity. So here basically this if I further write, if I write x minus x bar is equal to E, then it will be A bar E plus these equations. A minus A bar minus KEC into x plus B minus B bar into E. Now to make error E zero, the strategy should be make error independent of x. So the first thing is we have to make in this equation this error should be independent of x, which basically means this term should be equals to 0, and also error should be independent of u. So whatever may be my changes in the u, the error should not depend on that. So we have to eliminate u from this error dynamics equations. So we can eliminate u from the error dynamics equations if I put b minus b bar equals to 0. Okay. So finally, if I put these two equals to 0, I will have E dot is equal to A bar E. I will have E dot is equal to A bar E, which is the error dynamics equation, which is independent of the state variable x as well as the input variable u. So that will lead to the A bar will be equals to A minus KEC and B is equal to B bar. So once we get this expression, then we can write the error dynamics equations. E dot is equal to A bar E and A bar is equal to A minus KEC. So I put A minus KEC into E. Okay. And the observer dynamics equation accordingly will change, will be x bar dot ax bar plus bu plus ke y minus c x bar. So here now in the observer dynamics equation, initially observer dynamics equation was x bar dot a bar x bar plus b bar u plus ke into y, right? Now a bar, if I put a minus ke into c, and b bar is equal to b. So I replace these two expressions over observer dynamics equation, and I will get the final observer dynamics equation as x bar dot is equal to ax bar plus bu plus ke y minus cx bar. If the block diagram for this is, see, this is the process. This is the process which is ax plus x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx. Ax plus bu, I've taken integration, so I'll get x. Then y is equal to cx, so I'll get y. And this is the full order observer model. This is the full order observer model. So these equations are basically implemented over here, and K is the full order observer gain. So that here now we have got the expression for the full order observer. Now in this expression, the K is the unknown term. K is the unknown term because A and B, C all are basically obtained from the state equations. So the K is the unknown term and we have to find out the value of the K. So the design of observer over here is nothing but the finding out the values of the gain of the observer. So let us do the design of observer and full order observer. Here basically objective is find Ke such that the estimation error is minimized. So which means E will go towards 0 as t tending to infinity. So the error dynamics will be asymptotically stable and has sufficient speed of response. Okay. Now here we know already the error dynamics is given as E dot is equal to A minus KEC. Now the E will go to the 0 based on this matrix A minus KEC. So the eigenvalues of this A minus KEC will determine the stability and the speed of response of the error dynamics. Okay. Now, if I choose the eigenvalues of A minus KEC such a way that the dynamic behavior of the error vector is asymptotically stable and is adequately fast, then any error vector will tend to 0 with an adequate speed. And also, if the plant is completely observable, then it can be proved that it is possible to choose matrix KE such that the A minus KEC has arbitrarily desired eigenvalues. So this basically we have already proved in case of a state feedback controller that if the plant is there, basically if the plant is completely controllable, then we can choose the state feedback controller again K. In a similar line, we can prove that if the plant is completely observable, then we can choose a matrix, arbitrary matrix KE, such that the A minus KEC has an arbitrarily desired eigenvalue. Now, for designing of the observer, let us try to compare with our state feedback controller design. So in a state feedback controller design, the dynamics are x dot is equal to A minus BKX. Whereas the dynamics in observer is E dot is equal to A minus KEC into E. You can see the similarity of the equations over here. And in both the cases, our aim in here, basically our aim is xt tending to 0, st tending to infinity to find k for xt tending to 0, st tending to infinity. Here will be et tending to 0, st tending to infinity. And to achieve that aim or objective, we'll place the eigenvalues of A minus Bk to a desired location to get the k value. Here also similarly, we'll place eigenvalues of A minus KEC to a desired location to get Ke value. So the knowledge of state feedback controller design, can be easily applied to design an observer or to find the values of Ke. But only problem is here basically the matrix is A minus Bk, whereas here matrix is A minus Ke into C, right? So if I have to utilize these methods, then I have to choose a matrix which will be of this form. That means A minus Bk form. See here K is at the end, is post multiplied. Here K is P multiplied. But also we know that eigenvalues of A, Ke minus C is same as the eigenvalues of the transpose of that matrix. That means A minus K is C transpose, which is the eigenvalues of A transpose, C transpose, Ke transpose. Now in this case, if I thus equations or the matrix is similar in structure. The matrix is similar in structure, so we can utilize the same method. We can utilize the same method of pole placement design to get the Ke, to design the observer or to get the Ke values. So in that case, we will utilize this equation AT minus CT KET. Now, when we are doing this, then we have to remember another thing. I have told you in one of the earlier classes, a dual system in a state space system, state space model, and a concept of dual system. A concept of dual system is we have the primary system is x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx. And the dual system to that primary systems can be written as z dot is equal to A transpose Z plus C transpose V and Y star is equal to B transpose Z. Where for the dual system, Z is the state, V is the input, and output is the Y star. But the order of the Z, V, and Y star are same as the order of the X, U, and Y. Okay, and also the matrix involved in the primary system, that is A, B, and C, are same. Only the equations are the placement of matrix changes. So here basically in a dual system, it is Z dot is equal to A transpose Z plus C transpose V and Y star is equal to B transpose J. Now for this dual system, if I try to state feedback controller, if I try to design a state feedback controller, then we can easily say that the original system is observable. So if the original system is observable, obviously the dual system will be controllable. So the first condition for designing the control system is achieved. The second thing is, if I want to design the state feedback controller for this dual system using pole placement technique, then I will have the characteristics equation Si minus A transpose minus C transpose K0 equals to S minus mu1, S minus mu2, S minus mu n, where mu1, mu2, mu n are the desired observer force, which are basically for the dual system is the desired controller force. So mu1, mu2, mu-n are the desired observer pole for the primary system, and for the dual system is the desired location of the controller force. So from equating these, we can get the K0, and so the observer gain will become Ke will be transpose of K0. So which basically means if I have to design the observer, I have to utilize the technique of pole placement controller design on the dual system of the process, find out the controller gain for the dual system, and take a transpose of that controller gain to get the observer gain of the primary system. Okay. Now we know already to find this, we know already we have got two methods for order greater than 2. For order greater than 3, we have got two methods. One is the Basgura method and the second is the Ackermann method. So for Basgura method, so if I apply Basgura method for the dual system, then it is obviously same as the Basgura method, application of Basgura method finding observer design for an observer design of the primary system. So if I do that, the first method, the method 1 is basically we check the observability, rank n will be order of system n, So observability matrix, we know already n is equal to C transpose A transpose C transpose A transpose n minus 1 C transpose. And we find out the rank of the n. If the rank of the n is the order of the system n, then the system is observable. Once we confirm the system is observable, then we define the observer gain as Ke as K1, K2, K3 to Kn. And then we equate the observer characteristics equation with the desired characteristics polynomial. The desired characteristics polynomial is S minus mu1, S minus mu2, S minus mu n, where mu1 to mu n are the observer poles or the desired pole of the observer. For systems of low order n less than equals to 3, we can easily equate these two terms and find out the Ke value. We can easily equate these two terms and find out the Ke value. So this is basically the method 1. For system greater than n is equal to 3, we can use the Basgura method. In case of Basgura method, we have to check the observability. That is for all the methods. This is the primary conditions for the observer design, irrespective of method you are using. So the first step obviously will be checking the observability conditions. The second step will be for a Basgura method, you have to find out the AIs. That means A1, A2 to AN. So to find that, we write the determinant of Si minus A. We write determinant of Si minus A, and we get the equation, polynomial equations in the polynomial in S. So S to the power n plus A1, S to the power n minus 1, A2, S to the power n minus 2, and so on plus AN. So from here, I will get A1, A2, AN minus 1, AN. The second step is to find the alpha I. Alpha I will come from the desired location of the poles. So this will be S minus mu1, S minus mu2 into S minus mu n, which I can write after multiplying all the terms. I can write S to the power n plus alpha 1 S to the power n minus 1, alpha 2 S to the power n minus 2, and so on plus alpha n. So from here, from these equations, I will get alpha 1, alpha 2 to alpha n. So we get AIs, we get alpha i's, and then the third step is Ke, observer gain, is nothing but W into N transpose inverse multiplied by alpha n minus AN, alpha n minus 1 minus AN minus 1, and the final elements of that vector will be alpha 1 minus A1. The N is the control observability matrix. N is the observability matrix. So transpose of this observability matrix multiplied by the term called W. W basically we can construct W from this AI. So W will be AN minus 1. I will write in this AN minus 1, AN minus 2, and so on up to A1. Then I'll pad it up with 1. Here also I will write AN minus 1 to A1, pad it up with 1. So this is the first row and first column. So AN minus 2, this will be AN minus 3, and so on. This way it will go on. Okay. And here basically it will be 0. So we will have here basically it will be AN minus 2, AN minus 3. So this element will be AN. So AN minus 1, AN minus 2, AN minus 1, AN minus 2. So this element will be AN minus 3. And this way it will move on. Okay. So once we construct the W, we know the NT, we know the alpha i's and AI's, we can find out the Ke. So this method 2 is basically nothing but called the Basgura method. The method 3 is called the Ackermann's formula. In Ackermann's formula, we know already K is equal to phi A, C, CA, CA n minus 2, CA n minus 1, inverse of this matrix multiplied by 0, 0, 0, 1. Where phi A will be given by this expression. Phi A will be given by a to the power n plus alpha 1 a to the power n minus 1 plus alpha n minus 1 a plus alpha n I. So in the method 3, the step 1 and step 2 has to be done. In the method 3, the step 1 and step 2 has to be done. And in place of this equation, we can use the Ackermann's formula also. To find out the K. Okay. So this is basically the method 3. So this method 1, method 2, method 3, we have also applied in case of a state feedback controller design. The same methods are basically applied for the state feedback controller design for the dual system, and then mapped it back to the observer design in the primary system. And finally, we land up to these equations, the Basgura equations and the Ackermann's equations. Okay. So this is in essence basically the observer design. Before I go to the example, do you have any questions on this? Hello.
Sir, can you go to the dual system equation once?
Dual system. Okay.
Here,
Here,
in that, why does the P feature in the second equation?
Tell me again, your voice is breaking off.
Sir, why is P there in the second equation? Like
Y star is equal to BTZ. You were
yes,
talking?
sir. It was in the actual system. It was C times X,
Okay.
right?
So you have to understand first what do we mean by the dual system. Say the primary system is x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx. This is the primary system. Okay. And for that primary system, if you have to construct a dual system, in the dual system, the state variables input and the output will be different. So for the dual system, the state variable is Z, input is V, and the output is Y star. But in the dual system, the coefficients or the system matrices will remain same. So we are using the same system matrix A, B, and C, but we are writing the state equation in a form Z dot is equal to A transpose Z plus C transpose V, and Y star is equal to B transpose Z. So that's why this is basically a dual system. This is a dual system because if you look at the controllability and the observability conditions for the primary system and the dual system, then you will see the controllability matrix of the primary system is same as the observability matrix of the dual system. Similarly, observability matrix of the primary system is same as the controllability matrix of the dual system. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So actually, to ensure that we have done, we have defined, or we have set A transpose, C transpose, and B transpose in that way.
So the basic property of the dual system is that the controllability matrix of the primary system should be same as the observability matrix of the dual system.
Okay, sir.
Also, the observability matrix of the primary system should be same as the controllability matrix of the dual system. This is the basic condition to construct a dual system.
Okay, sir. Then it is all right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then do not have any other questions?
Sir, one more question. I couldn't understand why in the observable state when we were doing the transformation from x dot to x bar. In that case, why do we have to consider the output term as well in the output term?
So you mean to
So I mean to say that x dot was ax plus bu, and in the observable state it was x bar dot is equal to a bar x bar plus b bar u plus k into y. So k, yes sir. Why k into y? I couldn't follow that.
okay? So the y k into y, I am putting it over here, right? So that is your questions, okay?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Okay, so normally the observer model should be of similar structure to the process state equations. Okay, so that means if I take the observed state as x bar, then we'll have x bar dot plus a bar x bar plus b bar u. Now, if I put this one, then it is an open loop observer because I do not have any feedback of the measurement of actual process. Any feedback of the measurement of actual process, then I will never know whether there is no way I can put x bar to x, because ultimately my aim is to make this error 0. That means x minus x bar 0, isn't it? So to ensure that I have some handle to put x bar to x, I have to take feedback of the measurement, because in the process, the only knowledge I have is the measurement, y. Right? In the actual process, only knowledge we have is the measurement, because the x are the states and which are not measured. Clear? Okay. So in that case, I have to take a feedback of the measurement in the observer model equations. I have to take a feedback of the measurement in the observer model equation, and this feedback I multiplied with a certain gain. And this gain basically I manipulate or change so that the error will be 0. That means x bar will reach to x. If I do not do that, if I do not take this feedback, this will become an open loop observer, and then in that case, x bar will be x only when a bar is equal to a and b bar is equal to b. So if there is any estimation error in a and b, or example for a nonlinear process, if you linearize and get a and b, then obviously this a and b and a bar and b bar will not be same. Okay, so in that case, I have to have a KE, which will basically ensure a tuning parameters, which is the observer gain, which basically ensures that x is equal to x bar. I hope this is clear to you.
Yes, so it's basically like so we have an error function and we do not want to immediately make it 0. So we want to have an error function which we want to essentially minimize. So for that we are having this extra term so that we can keep some sort of a function over there which we can minimize in order to get those A transformed and B transformed matrices, right?
So see, this is the error function, right? That if you have to minimize the error, you need some kind of a manipulation.
Right. Yes.
So that ke is basically the manipulated variable, which we manipulate to make error 0. If we do not have this ke into y, then we do not have any manipulated variable. Okay.
Yes. And another thing, sir, while we were doing the dual system just before that, where we were when we were trying to find out the eigenvalues of
why we are using dual system, okay? So because if you look at the here basically here basically the design of a controller and the design of observer will be same if the A minus B, here it is A minus BK, and here it is A minus KEC. So KE is pre-multiplied over here. So if I have to make it a KE as a post-multiplied, then I have to take a transpose on this. So it will become A transpose minus C transpose KE transpose. Okay. Now this term A transpose minus C transpose KE transpose will come in case of a design of a state feedback controller design of a dual system. For a dual system, the same thing will come A transpose minus C transpose into K. Okay, so you will create A transpose minus C transpose into K. So for a dual system, if I design a controller, so that controller gain will be the observer gain for the primary system. That's why the dual system concept is coming. Okay. So let me go to the example. So we'll take a biochemical reactor example where the dynamic model basically given here. This you can get from this reference process control by Wayne Beckett. Here you have got a biomass concentration CV, substrate concentration CS. I have got the dynamic equations. I am not illustrating on this. So and thus some values are given over here. Numerical values are given over here. Now for this dynamic model, if I linearize this model, in terms where x1 if I say Cb minus Cbs, x2 Cs minus Css, U is equal to Ft minus Fts, then I can have the A, I can have the B, I will have C and D. Okay. So once I have constructed A, B, C and D, then if I have to design the observer for the system, the first step is I have to check the observability conditions. For this case, the rank, I find out the n, and then I find out the rank n is equal to 2. So system is observable. Now I will do the characteristics equations. So I'll write Si minus A. From here I will get a square, the polynomial in S, and I will get the A1 and A2. So A1 is 2.564 and A2 is equal to 0.6792. The next step is I have to take the desired characteristics equation. I say, let's say the desired poles are at minus mu1 at minus mu2. So I put it as the mu1 and comma 2. This is basically two poles. One is at minus mu1, another is at minus mu2. So if it is at minus mu1 and minus mu2, then it is S plus mu1 plus S plus mu2 will be these equations, which is nothing but S squared plus alpha 1s plus alpha 2 is equal to 0. So alpha 1 is equal to mu1 plus mu2 and alpha 2 is equal to mu1 mu2. Now if I use the observer, use the Bashgura method, the W will be n minus 1, that means A1. A1 is 2.564. So A1 1 1 and 0 and NT will be this. And from here I find out the KE from this expression WNT inverse alpha 2 minus A2 alpha 1 minus A1. WNT inverse is this expression and alpha 2 minus A2 is this, alpha 1 minus A1 is this expression. And from here I get K in terms of mu1 and mu2. In terms of mu1 and mu2. So if I decide mu1, mu2 some value minus 5, then I'll get the Ke value. In a similar fashion, I can also find out the using Ackermann's formula. In case of Ackermann's formula, I have to find out the phi A. Phi A will be A square plus alpha 1 A plus alpha 2 I, because this is a second order system. So I'll put the A matrix over here. Alpha 1 is mu1 plus mu2, alpha 2 is mu1, mu2. So phi A will be this expression. Phi A will be this matrix expression, which is in terms of mu1 and mu2. And then I'll get Ke is equal to phi A, C, Ca inverse 0, 1. Phi A is this term, 0, 1, phi A will be this expression. So Ke I will get in this term mu1 2 is equal to minus 2 plus minus 0.70. Okay. So this way I will get the Ke value. Okay. So this is basically a numerical example. Here basically I put a mu1 2 is equal to minus 2 plus minus 0.7j, and I get the final numerical value is minus 5.0684, 1.1436. Okay. Next, I will go to the another important topic, which is related to the observer design, observer and controller design, which is called the separation principle. In separation principle, we take the system dynamics x dot is equal to ax plus bu and y is equal to cx, and the state feedback controller based on the observed state is u is equal to minus kx bar. Now here in this case, earlier we have taken the state feedback control equation as u is equal to minus kx, assuming that all states are measured. Now when we have an observer implemented in the system, then the controller basically now the controller equation will be minus kx bar, because x bar is the observed state. So the state feedback controller equation is now changed to u is equal to minus k into x bar. So if I put this one, then the state equation will become ax minus bk x bar. So u is equal to minus kx bar. I will put ax is a minus bk kx x bar, and I modify it to a minus bkx. So basically bkx I add and subtract. So I will get a minus bkx plus bk x minus x bar. Now we already defined error is x minus x bar. So x dot will be a minus bkx plus bk into e error. Okay. And the observer equations then in that case is e dot is equal to a minus kec into error. That we have already derived. So we have got x dot and x dot this equation, e dot this one. These two equations are basically for a system where observer and the controller both are implemented. So the combined observer controller closed loop equations will be x dot e dot will be a minus bk. The matrix elements contains a minus bk 0 a minus kec xc. So this is basically the closed loop system equations, which is the state equations and the error equations. Now, if I want to find out the characteristics equations, the characteristics equation will be given by these expressions. So Si minus A plus Bk minus Bk is the one row, the second row is 0, Si minus A plus K into C. This will be equals to 0. So this will be the characteristics equations. And if I find out the determinant of that, if I have to solve that, then basically I will have Si minus A plus Bk determinant of this multiplied by Si minus A plus Kc determinant of this equals to 0. Okay. Now over here you can see one thing. This is basically here. This basically decides the poles of the controller. And this one decides the poles due to observer. This is the poles due to observer. And the poles due to controller and the poles due to observer they are independent on each other. Because the poles due to controller is not determined by the K, and poles due to observer is not determined by the K. Okay, which means the observer design and the pole placement are independent of each other. So these two designs are independent of each other. So separately we can design the controller, separately we can design the observer. So this is basically called the separation principle or separation theorem. Okay, and then lastly, let us try to find out the transfer function of the observer controller systems. Now, in case of a full order observer, we have this equation x bar dot is equal to ax bar plus bu plus ke y minus cx bar. And the state feedback controller is equal to u is equal to minus kx bar. So the full order observer cum controller will be x bar a minus bk, u will be replaced by this term. So ke into c into x bar plus ke into y. So from in this equation, I put u is equal to minus kx bar. So I will have full order observer and controller equations. If I take a Laplace transfer on this, then I will get x bar s is equal to si minus a plus bk plus kec inverse multiplied by ke into ys. Also, if I take a Laplace transform on state feedback controller, this will give us is equal to minus k x bar s. Okay, so I can write us equal to minus k x bar s, and x bar s I replace by these expressions. So if I do that, then us will be given by this expression minus k into si minus a plus bk plus ke into c inverse into k into ys. So the observer state feedback controller transfer function, will be given by us by minus ys equals to k into si minus a plus bk plus k into c inverse into ke. So this will give me an observer state feedback controller transfer function. This is important. This is important. Why do you need this? Say I have got a plant which is expressed in terms of transfer functions. So from the transfer function, I can realize a state space model. From the state space model, I can design a state observer cum state feedback controller. And from that observer cum state feedback controller, I can find out the transfer function of that controller. I can find out the transfer function of this controller, which means once I realize the state space model, I can find out the state feedback controller gain k. I can find out the observer gain ke. Then I will have this observer state feedback controller transfer function. I put the values of k and ke, and I will get a transfer function, controller transfer functions over here. I will get a controller transfer functions over here, which will be in the Laplace domain. Okay, so I'll finish it over here. In the next class, I will take examples. I will take that biochemical examples as well as other examples and to illustrate it further and go for the design of reduced order observer. Okay, so if you have any further questions, I will answer. Otherwise, I will end the meeting.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, is today's class and tomorrow's class included in Saturday's test?
Saturday's test is basically today's class is included. Tomorrow's class not.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Today's class will be included. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So if you do not have any questions, let me then end the meeting. Thank you.